Welcome back to the Sun and Moon Tarot. Today we will find what is good and what is hidden. I hope you're well and staying blessed, enjoying life wherever you are. This is a air sign read for my Aries season. So if you do have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius highly aspected, this read is likely for you. We're using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I hope you're well and blessed. Hope you're enjoying your Aries season. We'll pull 3 rows. The first row will be your recent past. The second row will be your current energy. The third row will be your future air signs. We'll grab a couple clarifying cards for the end of the read, and the bottom of the deck holds the overall energy. I'm sorry, I've got a lot going on, and I am quite exhausted, but we will get through your read. I'm not trying to sound so kind of like I feel like I sound not as animated as normal, but that's just because I'm tired, y'all. Okay, let's enjoy your read. Let's enjoy the content. Bless your heart. Okay. 7 of Pentacles, recent past. 4 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Aces are gifts from the universe. Always good cards to have. Ace of Water, who for your Aries season read, my beautiful air signs. You then have the 10 of Pentacles, the 5 of, Pentacles. Whoopsies. The 10 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and the Sun card. A Leo could be of significance for your future. You have the Devil, the 8 of Wands, and I keep stuttering, my bad. I'm tired, guys. You have the Devil, a Capricorn could be of significance. You do have the 8 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles. 44 appearing for your read. Thank you for your patience. I've just had so much going on with my family. But we're gonna get our content out, y'all. Okay. So clarifying cards are pulled, set aside for the end. Bottom of the deck does have the 3 of Cups. Don't hate that. All right. Well, y'all, let's get into it today. Let's get into our content. 3 of Cups is the overall energy. It does represent, as a definition, it's friendship, community, happiness. As overall energy, it's going to be how you appear in your read. It's kind of the experience you're going to have during Aries season, potentially, although, of course, my reads are timeless. So don't forget that. I forgot to say this earlier, I believe. So if this doesn't resonate through about this row, don't try to make it. Check out your other reads and check out your other signs for your birth chart. So if you have earth or water or fire or air dependent, like highly aspected, then check out those signs, especially for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, depending on what information you're seeking. Once you understand houses, and then if those reads also don't resonate, then I might not be the reader for you. Fair? And check out someone else. Not to be hateful or anything like that, but if you don't like the content and it doesn't resonate, then move along, right? All right, y'all. So community, friendship, home, that real experience of emotional home too, emotional community, really that contentment, that connection. And you have the Ace of Cups in this read as well. So for your recent past, for this read, my beautiful air signs, you've got the 7 of Pentacles, hard work, perseverance, diligence. The 4 of Cups, apathy, disconnection, contemplation, and the Ace of Cups, new feeling, spirituality, intuition. So this is a double dose here, and what I mean by that is, like, you see how in the I'm doing it. I don't like to do this very often, but I'm doing it. Okay, do you see how this hand is holding a gift? It represents the universe. That cloud is spirit, whatever you believe in, regardless of like your actual religion, okay? but like logically it is that ether experience, right? And it is gifting you something emotional, a very like gift of like understanding your emotional needs, intuition in terms of like how you connect with the ether, and how you connect with like others around you, what would be best for you spiritually, what would be best for those around you spiritually, etc. It's a lot of things. But what I really want to get into here, why I put the cards up here in the camera, is that this mirrors that, right? You see how it is a cup as well? It is a cup gifted by whatever you believe in, just like in this card. Okay. If you don't jam with symbolism, tarot's probably not for you, right? It's all about the symbolism. It's huge. If you like mythology and stuff like that, then the symbolism of tarot really connects with you. It just kind of does a lot. For a lot of readers, it does, sorry. Okay, so universal blessings here with these cups being given. Now, hard work, perseverance, diligence, you putting in the effort, people around you noticing that you're putting in the effort as well. And then something to do with a gift of some sort, and you being not only like, okay, this Four of Cups card is a big deal. It means like with empathy and disconnection, it is like you being so upset about these empty cups in front of you that you can't see the gift that you're being given. So being so focused on the work is what I'm getting, that you're not being focused on like a promotion or like a new relationship or something that's really being gifted to you by the universe. And it's really doubling down here with this Ace of Cups, that it is here, that you do belong, that this is something that is really beneficial for you and those around you. Now, as I say that, we're going to get into your current row. 10 of Wands, 5 of Wands, the Sun card. Again, I said Leo could be of significance, so could Gemini or Capricorn. All right. So the 10 of Swords represents, the 10 of Wands represents accomplishment, responsibility, burden. The 5 of Wands represents competition, conflict, reality. The Sun is everything that's good, right? It's joy, success, celebration, and pleasure. I find it very funny that these cards came out consecutively, and we'll get into that later. Anyway, so you've got... I don't do that normally. I don't want to do that. Never mind. Reset. So we're focused on the current row here, and we're going to talk about how, like, you responsibility, burden, accomplishment, conflict, reality, like these are people fighting. This is this person carrying this heavy load. And then you have like the recognition, the happiness, the joy, the success, the child underneath the sun just like enjoying life, just being peaceful, innocent, really enjoying it and being protected by the sun, if you believe in that. In my pantheon, the sun rules all, and he graces us as we walk this path. So like that is why that child gets to have this experience of peace and joy in the third dimension, regardless of what happens. Because yes, air signs, we do have to go through the rough of it, and sometimes it puts us in this place of disconnection. But we are all God's children at the end of the day, no matter what pantheon, again, no matter what you believe in, okay? That doesn't matter. What matters is that you understand that you're protected by something, okay? And that you really believe in that, because it'll really get you through these hard times. And it'll really make sure that you feel like you have a community and a home and like a sense of belonging, regardless of sometimes what types of competition and conflict are going on in your current reality. Does that make sense? I feel like every Libra and Gemini out there are like, hell yeah, and every Aquarius is gonna be like, people suck, but that's okay. It's not my fault that people suck. I feel like that's what Aquariuses are thinking, which is fair. Alright, sorry. Alright, air signs. Push through, right? Belong. It will benefit you. So moving forward, I was like kind of stuttered on how these two came out consecutively, and I laughed because this means pleasure, and so does this in a lot of ways. A lot of people view this as like almost being addicted to pleasure, whatever you find pleasurable when it comes to this card, because it can represent addiction and materialism and pleasure, right? The devil, it doesn't only represent Capricorn, but he or the figure, excuse me, represents literally playfulness, pleasure, materialism, and addiction. The Eight of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. All right, we go in there. I don't want to do this right now, y'all. I know all too well what this has to do with in my life, and I am just annoyed. I love my God, spirits, etc. for protecting me, but I am just not. And you can't ignore these things anymore. That's why I'm annoyed about it. Alright, we'll just talk about it then. The Eight of Swords represents imprisonment, entrapment, self-victimization. The Four of Coin represents conservation, frugality, and security. So for some of you, this is... oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to kind of switch over into the future, right? You continue pushing forward through this like joyous energy regardless of the conflict around you, but that has potentially put you in a place of like, this is gonna vary, like, so it's materialism, it's being addicted to materialism, being addicted to shopping, being addicted to goods, being addicted to spending money, the flow of money, right? Being addicted to some sort of money pleasure is here. And it could potentially lead to you being in some way, shape, or form entrapped in a relationship, or worse, a career that you don't like appreciate, or that doesn't appreciate you. And so it's like a toxic cycle where you're working in a job that you hate, and you might be making money that you're like, wow, this is the most money I've ever made with just one job, and I don't have to work like, you know, like 3 jobs and this and that, and I just have to work this one job, but it's toxic and I hate it, and so I'm addicted to shopping. I'm addicted to like gambling. There's some sort of money addiction with that, okay? And this is a big deal. So like, because of this card being here, sorry, frugality, security, that money, understanding like money is being secure with money in this card, and potentially frugality. So that's what I mean by, I feel like it's some sort of like recognizing this is toxic in terms of money, and that it entraps you, and that so you're never gonna get up, you know, like it's not actually going to ever be a thing where you start being like out of debt because you hate it so much that you might be like overspending, or like just in some way, shape, or form you need to be more focused on being frugal so you can switch it up, so you don't have to work as hard, right? Maybe you can take on a job with less hours. Maybe you can work 2 part-time jobs or something like that if it's less stressful for you, so you can focus on your art if that's something that brings you joy. You know, you need to be focused on not just burdens, but like what brings you joy while you're walking on this path. Yeah, and you might be distracted by what your purpose is on this path, 77, and you're being told to have strength and really focus on what brings you like inner conviction, because whatever that is will bring you the fulfillment that you're searching for in your career, so that that toxic money cycle can be broken. Does that make sense? It'll bring you like this true feeling of community once you truly figure out what you want, instead of being in a place of daydreaming and searching for purpose and not really being for certain on like what you want, knowing that you have choices here but not being for certain on what to do about it. If you be focused in the future on like whatever it is that you're addicted to that's causing an entrapment, if what I just said doesn't apply to you, if it's not a money thing, that's just what I'm getting. Like, but if for other people it could be addiction of any kind. It doesn't have to be materialism. It could just be like, I'm not getting that. I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. Yeah, it in some way, shape, or form, it could be something else, but it costs you money is the biggest deal with that. And you have 88 here, so you need to really recognize whatever in your life that costs money, like maybe too much money, that maybe is causing you to be entrapped in something that is toxic, and you need to be more frugal about it instead of spending your money there, so that you cannot be consistently stuck in a toxic cycle where you're like pulled into like, I'm just pushing through, I'm gonna have courage and conviction and inner strength, and I've got this, I'm going to push through. Like this is Leo is of high significance in this read, which I find funny because you've got both Leo cards, majors here. Because Leo is the sun in this card, whereas Gemini is the child in this card. And in the strength card, this represents Leo. Like this is the lion that's being like completely worshipped by, and infinitely so, right? Never mind. Okay. I think you get what I'm saying. I'm going overly long on this read, and I didn't intend to do that, air signs. Oh, whoops. It's just that we vibe. So I went on and on. Anywho, yeah. Have strength. It'll work out. Really be focused on whatever causes you to be entrapped. If it's a relationship, if it's toxic money spending, either way, because remember, if for you, if like an addiction is like an addiction to, I'm going on again, I'm sorry. If it's more of an addiction to like some sort of a toxic relationship, then you need to still be focused on getting out of that, however that applies to you. And you need to be very compassionate with yourself through the change process. Okay, our signs? Whatever change you need to take, you just need to take it. You need to have the strength, the inner strength to just kind of like take it. I'm doing it. We're going to pull one more clarifying card. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Water, is compassion, calm, and comfort. So whatever brings you this is what is the choice that you need to make. If it's a relationship, if it's a job, if it's multiple things, that's the change you need to make, air signs. I love you all dearly. I hope you enjoyed the content. I'll see you in the next read.